Welcome. To start things off, I am going to take y'all to where all the magic happens. And just to clarify, that is far from my bedroom, at least until I get married. Ladies, always accepting wifey applications. I am taking you to my kitchen. Although it is not big, don't underestimate. So we're going to be making some Italian favorites. One super traditional, a very well-known staple, none other than meatballs. This is my dad's recipe. So I am super excited to make these dishes because I'm going to be bringing them to a Super Bowl party. And I know that down here in Texas, they don't have a ton of real good Italian food. So I'm gonna show them some love and how it's done right. So like any good traditional Italian dish, it always starts the night before. So since there are so many different components to this dish, I'm starting to prep it Saturday night because obviously the Super Bowl is on Sunday. So the first dish is called Manicotti. It is made with crepes, which is actually French. And fun fact, I have a touch of French in me, which comes from my mom, which makes sense because this is a dish that she used to always make. And it is stuffed with a ricotta mix, and it is ricotta, not ricotta. Please don't ever come into my dwelling calling it ricotta, because I will force feed it to you if that's the case. After stuffing the carbs with fat, you put more fat on it and tomato sauce and bake it.
Oh Marie,
Oh Marie,
oh Marie,
oh Marie,
in your arms, I'm longing to be.
longing to be,
Baby,
baby,
tell me you love me.
tell me you love me.
Kiss me once while the stars shine above me.
In case you're wondering why I'm wearing all black too, this is exactly why. I'm not mourning, I'm just making tomato sauce.
My dad's sauce recipe starts off by browning some garlic and onions in a pot with a touch of olive oil. I opt for a cooking spray instead. You add 2 cans of crushed tomatoes, this is for a larger portion of sauce, and about 5 ounces or so of tomato paste. The tomato paste is what gives it the perfect amount of thickness. After, add just enough water to get what's stuck on the sides of both cans of crushed tomatoes into the pot with the rest of the sauce. Once the main parts are in, chop up some fresh basil. Once it gets hot, add seasoning and the fresh basil. Then cover the pot with a slight opening to allow steam to escape. Keep track of your time. It will need to begin to simmer for 3 hours on a very low heat. Every half hour, it needs to be stirred and tasted for more seasoning.
Embracing that so we ever since that night we were together, lovers at first sight.
The ideal crepe for manicotti is in an oval shape, and it's easiest to make them on a griddle. Spread the batter when you place it on the stove so that it is as thin as possible without having any holes. These are no pancakes or waffles. You know they're ready to be flipped when the underside has a slight brown. Remember that these are all going to be baked in the oven again, so you don't want to make them too dark.
It is day 2 of this preparation for Super Bowl Sunday. It is Super Bowl Sunday. I'm eating my big ass bowl of oats while I prep all this stuff. So let's get going on these meatballs. Okay, so I've got about 3 pounds of ground beef here, so this is going to be a hefty batch. Not that it's out of place, but what in the world am I doing with a whole loaf of Italian bread? Good question. This gets ripped up and soaked in water or milk, whatever you prefer. I usually put a little bit of salt and pepper in there, and then you squeeze it out, and that goes in the whole mix. And it just really brings it together. It gives it like almost like a glue element for the meatballs. And if you think I'm not gonna eat any of this, you must have just met me. I have one rule in my kitchen: you never waste any food. So this bread is perfect for tasting the sauce that you made yesterday. And I'm gonna freeze it so we can make homemade croutons with it for a nice salad. So my dad's rule is 1 egg per pound, but I have egg whites for a very good reason, which I'll explain in the future. 1 egg white is about 1/8 of a cup, so we're gonna do about 3/8 of a cup because we got a little bit over 3 pounds. Now in my family, everything gets put to good use. So this tomato sauce also finds its way into the meatball mix. Now we're gonna cover the top with breadcrumbs, and we'll add more if we need to as we're mixing it. We'll kind of be able to tell from the texture. So next you wanna add salt, pepper, garlic powder, grated cheese, and mix it all up and roll it. As we prep everything for the manicotti, first we're gonna lightly grease this baking tray, and then we're going to line the bottom with the tomato sauce. We grease the bottom of the pan so that the sauce on the bottom doesn't burn when you bake it. So once you have all your crepes stuffed, again, you're gonna cover the whole pan with a layer of tomato sauce.
Preheat your oven to 350 degrees to bake the manicotti. Bake for 30 minutes or until hot all the way through, saving the last 10 minutes to add mozzarella cheese to the top. The meatballs get baked until, in my dad's words, it looks like there's saliva bubbling out of them.
Of course, I remember the important thing, the food, to the party, but forgot the camera. I was going to film some reactions, but I can assure you that the Italian food was one of the greatest hits.
It turned out alright.